Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to Billy Strings for the third time. We're looking at actually a second song off of his second album, Home, played at Lollapalooza in 2022. We actually saw the last one also at Lollapalooza, which was Everything's the Same. Today, we're looking at Away from the Mire. Now, this is an 8-minute song on the album. Live, we've got an 11-minute clip. We like what we've heard from Billy so far. He is supersonic on those acoustic strings. It's just amazing what he can do. And he won the Grammy for this album, Best Bluegrass Album, in 2021. It is, he's highly regarded, it sounds like, within the industry as well. And I think he's quite the artist. Whenever we've watched him play, we've been really impressed with his performances and the memorability, too, of his songs in general. Adrian, do you have any thoughts ahead before we look at this?
I'm just looking forward to hearing this. Yeah, this is going to be outstanding.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, let's check it out, and we will discuss afterwards. All right.
Here's a little song. Before we collide, can we just take a moment collecting reflections of this and remember the path that we chose? Spring light to us this year again. Can't stand to face the fear again. You could always laugh about those things. Sour, burning minutes every day by the hour, just to end up gone like everything else.
Okay, so that was it. So that was quite a tour de force there. What'd you think, Adrian?
A little song? Like epic. Epic masterpiece or something.
Very well understated, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. I usually wouldn't go for a band or a song that featured a banjo or fiddle, but this is so terrifically superb that I've been converted.
I had a feeling that might happen, as a matter of fact. I've been on this quest to get Adrian to get into some acoustic music, and I think this might just do the trick. Because he's just amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, the things that I noted there, well, first of all, the song started rather quiet. It almost sounded like it was going to be an introspective thing. You know, like he gets on there and he's like, let me see here. It's like, you know. Like that. He was channeling Jerry Garcia a little bit to me. First of all, they're going into these 4/4s into a 3/4, so it's like 8 beats and 7 beats going back and forth in between the F sharp minor and the E. That was that whole jam part, because the song itself was only 4 minutes long, but then the jam was 6 minutes after that. Yeah, point being, it sounds to me like he was listening to Jerry, because he did a lot of things that were kind of unique to Jerry Garcia, especially at the very beginning where he's doing the, you know, with the guitar bits and the delay and all of that. It's kind of a signature sound of Jerry Garcia. But then he got into distortion, and he walked out the platform there, was showing off a bit for the crowd there, which I thought was great. You know, the thing is, it's all tasteful, too. It's all useful. Like, it's not really wasting notes, if you know what I mean. You know, like, there's a purpose for every note that he plays, even though it's pretty much an open-ended jam at that part. It's just that they've thought about it. Like, he's not trying to just put out stuff like, here, I can play, look at how well I can play. He's making it more meaningful than that. Like, he's getting somewhere. He's taking us on this journey, you know, like all the best solos do.
Also, he's just doing these amazing leads on an acoustic guitar, which isn't easy if you're, like, accustomed to playing electric.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got, you know, serious calluses, you know, like made of stone at the end of his fingertips, you know. He's doing this, but he's also doing some really great picking. You know, that's one thing I never picked up. I started keeping guitar picks over by my piano because of this guy, because I was like, how does he do that? Because now I've got to figure out, because I've never really mastered how to use a pick, you know, and now I'm like, well, he's like going back and forth, you know. Geez, I can't even do it, you know, but it's just, he's very steady, you know, and this is from years of practice. And so he can just sit here and do this and then, you know, and get these incredible results.
He has been playing acoustic all along. You know, I remember that just in a Baggy video from 3 in the morning at a party, and he's playing acoustic there. And he's playing it quite exquisitely there, too.
That's right. Yeah, it's been the thing with him. I mean, his father also plays, and his father taught him a lot. There are clips around of him and his father performing in recent years together, and which is a great thing. You know, when you've got somebody like that in the family that's going to sit down and show you all of the tricks and everything, that's good. That's good, because then you can build on that. He's built on it. He learned all these great things. He listened to some amazing artists as he was growing up, I imagine, and he built on that. And he's created something new here. It's kind of a fusion with the jam band scene. It definitely has some roots in the Grateful Dead, you know, and in fact, Bob Weir has played with them. And he's also played with Bill Kreutzmann, one of the drummers in the Dead. I think he was in Bill's band for a little while, just as a guest. You know, he was already well revered, but he just came in and he was just part of the band for a tour or something. So that's pretty cool. So he's got reverence for those guys. I mean, I think he's making some really amazing music. I'm really glad he's out there. I think he's one of the more promising artists, you know, that's going to survive an entire career length of, you know, of making good music and becoming a revered player. I think he's well on the way to that. But I think over time he's gonna build a reputation. We might know him just as well as Doc Watson one day.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sense of the lyrics. It seems like there's a theme of nostalgia and or maybe regret.
Let's take a quick look at the lyrics. Remember the time we were both eye to eye, and we both knew the reasons why. It seemed like we faced the world on our own. Before we collide, can we just take a moment collecting reflections of this and remember the paths that we chose? Pretty cool lyrics. Spring lied to us this year again. I can't stand to face the fear again. So maybe the weather's not cooperating. But you could always laugh about those things. It's enough to make a man feel sour, burning minutes every day by the hour just to end up gone like everything else. It almost seems to come from a farmer's standpoint. I don't know exactly. But then let go of the pain, hold on to the rhythm. It's consciously held back in you. You're drowning a sorrow that's long been at rest. The past is a hell that can creep up inside you, so let me remind you of this. It's the reason your troubles exist. So let go of the past, be at peace. It can't hurt you anymore. Put that worry aside, essentially, is what I'm hearing in what he's saying. And then the same chorus. If ever a time comes around in the wheel to replace where we stand side by side, we'll be ready and able to fly away from the mire and the senseless decisions of somebody's wasted desire through the smoke and the wind and the fire. Yeah, so it sounds like take stock in your friends and in yourself, and don't let things that are in the past eat you up, because there's always the future.
Great advice.
Yeah, and really eloquently written, too. I'm not sure if he's also the lyricist. He does have somebody that he often writes with named John Weisberger, so I'm not sure how that collab went. Maybe they both did both things. There's no telling. Every songwriting partnership is different. Fantastic work. This is part of the reason why I think he's going to endure. I think he's putting out quality work, and he's an incredible performer, clearly likes performing, and seems to let all the really heavy stuff fall off his shoulders.
That is good.
Yeah, so kudos to Billy. Really enjoyed that track. Thank you for the request. And folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this? If you're familiar with it, if you're familiar with Billy, if you've ever seen him at any festivals, anything like that, give your impressions. Any other details you think we missed, leave them below. And, of course, suggestions as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right? Take care, folks.
See you all later.